What's up, guys? Welcome back to Select Few Podcast. Today we have Rene Campos Jr.
That's right.
From Up to Something Media.
JR.
He's
Yes, sir.
a content creator,
Yes.
DJ, a man of many trades.
Renaissance man, if that.
Exactly.
A Renaissance man.
Okay, I like
do it.
that.
You know what I mean? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Absolutely.
You know?
Hey,
Podcaster.
Yeah, podcaster, you know what I'm saying? Been doing
Right.
it for a long time. But, you know, I appreciate you guys having me here. You know, shots to Select Few.
Yeah.
The branding is crazy. You know,
Yeah.
the whiskey is hitting right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I got the
Shout out to y'all.
koozie, but
Yeah. Shout out to y'all. No, man. Thank you for having me, man. It's really cool to have me here.
thanks for being here.
Dude,
No, dude, yeah.
the pleasure is ours, man.
No, thank you, man.
You know, we've gone through, several different types of guests, right? And
Right.
you know, we're not a podcast because be, for rich and famous and
Right.
wealthy and all these other people. We want
Love it.
we want
Interesting
everybody,
people.
right?
Interesting people.
Appreciate it,
So we're
man.
like, when our producer's like, dude, let's bring Rene on. With
Oh, man.
he's been podcasting and stuff. I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
like, you sure you want to bring another podcaster on a podcast?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, yeah, for real. He's like, they're getting paid.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
You know
okay.
what I'm
Hot sauce
saying?
deals.
I was
Hot
like,
sauce deals, you know what I'm saying?
I'm like, that's cool. Let's figure out, all the bad shit before they
let's
get
pick
Yeah,
his
yeah,
brain.
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
How do we
Exactly.
get our own hot sauce deal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Just do a
Shout
hot
out to
ones and-
Cholula.
No, man. Yeah, man. It's tough, man. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'm not really a fan of hot sauce. Sorry, but you know what I'm saying. But because I like spicy foods. But shout out to El Yucateco hot sauce. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because when we did the go into the hot sauce deal, we did a hot ones challenge, and I'm not a fan of spicy food whatsoever. Like anything spicy, can't take it. And I'm Latino, I'm Panamanian, so we did the challenge or whatever, and we tagged the hot sauce brands. And, El Yucateco reached out to us, and it was a beautiful, connection from there. And, shout out to El Yucateco being our first legit sponsor. So appreciate y'all.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Sometimes it's when you're not even going for it.
Yeah, no, and it's honestly, you just never know who's watching.
Plus,
you know
they're a
what I mean?
smaller company, and you're
Yeah.
giving them some screen time. and-
100%. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it's like, people are like, oh, I need 1 million views to get a brand deal, or I need like 1 million views to like get like, in the game and stuff. But you really don't need that, man. It's like, you never know if Obama or, Kanye or Drake or any of these people are watching, you know what I mean? And that's how they really like bring people up. You could have 100 views with 30.
I think we can say for
It-
sure Drake is not watching our podcast.
Hey, man, you never know. You never know.
You never know. I mean, it's gonna reach the select few, but Drake could be
No,
one.
for sure,
Maybe.
bro. For
you know?
sure.
But are we
for sure.
talking like Kanye or clone Kanye? Like which Kanye are we talking about? Because
Yo.
I mean, either one will work, right? Because they're both Kanye.
They're both Ye, but the thing is, it's Ye or Kanye. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
for real.
So it's two different Ye's. I don't know.
I mean, I miss the old Kanye.
I don't know. I still love Kanye, even with the controversy and stuff like that. I know what he said is super fucked up. But it's real. You know what I mean? He's speaks for himself.
But I mean, that's how it should be, right?
Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean?
No matter who you are or what your belief is, I mean,
Yeah.
you should be able to have freedom of speech.
No, 100%. You know what I mean? And the thing is that a lot of people, like, you could agree to disagree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as you, stay true to yourself and you actually, practice what you preach. Because once you start, get a little hypocritical, starting to be a little.
Oh yeah, like all the people on The View. You know what I mean? Like they all had to lean one way together, right?
Leave Whoopi Goldberg alone.
Nah,
I mean-
Whoopi's cool, man. And my mom watches The View, and hopefully get a View
Hey.
deal. I don't know.
I
Shout out to
mean-
The View. I mean, do you like The View? I mean, do you
Nah,
watch The View?
you know what? The View, like years and years and years and years ago, right?
Right.
When it was like,
Barbara.
yeah, for real, like when it
Yeah.
was Barbara, right?
Yeah.
It was all right.
It was cool.
It wasn't bad, but
Yeah.
now it's just become so damn controversial, and it's like it's only about what they care about. You know what I mean? It's like that's only one view.
I'm more of a Jerry
Their
Springer
POV.
guy.
Yeah.
You like Jerry Springer? Yo,
Dude.
R.I.P. to Jerry Springer,
Yeah,
man.
no
Because
doubt.
he was so raw with everything. Like, it could be about anything. It didn't have to be politically correct. It was just like, hey, this is what's going on. This man has
Yeah.
been cheating on you with 3 different baby mamas, and the crowd goes wild. You're fighting in the crowd, and like people throwing shit at you.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Shout out to Jerry, man.
Dude,
R.I.P. Jerry.
Dude, I got a Jerry Springer story.
Really? Have you been to one of his
Nah,
shows?
dude, I've never been to one
you
of
the
those shows.
father?
Nah, hell no. Nah, shout out to my nah, but in all reality, so I when I was running a company years ago,
Right.
I could never keep office staff, right? So secretaries and such, like I don't know what it was. I ended up making them cry in the first month, and so they just all quit.
Jeez,
I know what it was.
There was one time I hired this girl, and she just happened to tell me that she was on Jerry Springer one time.
Ooh.
I had to let her go.
What?
I was like, because that right there is drama, period, right? And I'm like,
yeah.
I've never judged somebody's like outside the work zone, but I'm like,
Right.
okay, Jerry's cool. It's fun to watch.
Right.
I don't need people here
Not up in here.
who are like I'm waiting for like
Yeah.
baby daddy drama to come through the door. Like,
Oh, man.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was 21 years old anyways, running this multi-million-dollar company. I'm like, you know what?
Jeez.
It's
gotta
not good
go.
for business.
So what was your reasoning? You can't
Yeah,
just
you-
fire
you-
her.
you- fired her because she was
so what
like-
I did is I called the owners and I was like, look, here's the deal. I was
Right.
like, she had a good resume.
Right.
We hired her.
Right.
And I was like, but this is what she said. And they're like, all right.
I'm a Maury fan. That's why I
They're
got fired.
they were like, you know, they're like, whatever you want to do, let her go. I was like, okay, what do you want me to tell her?
That's tough.
Just tell her it's budget cuts.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
we just hired her. How do you
wow.
tell budget cuts? Be like, oh, I hired somebody I wasn't supposed to.
I mean, she was on Jerry Springer. I mean, that's kind of sick. I mean,
Yeah,
would
I mean, nah.
put that on a resume.
Yeah,
that's
but
kind
That's
of
an
cool.
accolade.
Yeah, right. I mean, I would love to be on
But
Jerry
it's
Springer.
like, you know,
Not like, you know,
if you've
messy.
been hired on and 2 weeks later you want to talk about your time on Jerry Springer, I'm like, dude, I just,
I mean,
you know what I mean? Because
maybe she's trying to like, be like,
it's
you know.
cool, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
I don't know.
It is cool.
Dude,
It is cool as fuck.
It's
That's
not-
that's
I get
street
it.
cred.
I get it. You're
Nah.
probably a Maury fan. You're like, yo,
Nah.
I don't fuck with Jerry. I fuck with Maury.
Wait, have you? You remember there's a Steve Wilkos show.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like a spinoff, right?
Yeah, he was the bodyguard for
Yeah,
Jerry
yeah, for
Springer. Yeah, and then he
years.
got his own show,
Right.
Because people just loved his bald ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so crazy that he got a spinoff, you know.
right.
Like,
He was
I'm just
very
like-
successful.
It was, but it did like it's like the comparison is like you have to be like Jerry.
Yeah.
And it's like but it wasn't the same, you know what I
Nah,
mean?
it,
It's not the
it
same.
wasn't. You know, but that's, you know, nobody, Jerry was unique. That
He
shit
is very
worked.
unique.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just worked. You
Yeah.
know, as
Yeah.
fake as
He
it was.
was like that grandpa that you could talk to.
Yeah.
He's very like warm and welcoming.
Yeah.
Right. And he'll let you duke it out. He was like, all right, go ahead.
Yeah.
I know how you
Each
feel.
other
Go
with
ahead.
chairs.
Because
and shit.
honestly, I'm
Yeah.
curious. Like, did the show ever start off like that's how it was supposed to be, right? Or did it just
Right.
transform? And Scary's like, fuck.
It takes a life of its own, I'm
yeah.
sure.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this shit. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stop this.
Oh, wait,
guy.
we should go back and watch the first season of Jerry
Right.
Springer.
Yeah,
I
when
wonder
did
what
it
it's
when did
like.
it air? Like the
OG
80s?
one, dude. No, I think it was like mid '90s.
Mid
I bet you
90s?
it's pretty tame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it's pretty grungy, you know, it's definitely that era for
Yeah,
sure.
any pilot episodes on anything, right? You'll watch
Yeah.
something that has 14 seasons. You go back to the pilot, you're like,
What is
Oh
this
shit.
and
Yeah.
then 5 seasons later, like,
Where does it
remember,
pick up?
Remember when I did Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
And it took me like 3 years to get through 3 episodes.
Yeah, 'cause it's a long form show.
Dude,
You gotta like,
I get you, bro.
Yeah.
Because I tried to watch Breaking Bad and I still haven't even got past the 5th episode.
oh
Dude,
my god, it's
yeah.
so
I tell you
good.
what, when you
Yeah.
get,
like,
it's actually
finish-
episode number 5. As soon
Yeah.
as you go 1 through 5,
Yeah.
you don't stop watching.
don't know.
It's weird, and I did that with Sons of Anarchy. I did that with Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I mean, like I had to get over a hump.
Yeah.
and I had to run out of shit to watch. Right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it
and-
was so bad.
Just like Game of Thrones, man. Like Game of Thrones took me a long time to get into.
still
Maybe
haven't.
until the 7th season.
I haven't started it, and
You
I
have
refuse
to.
to do Yellowstone just because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna let all the drama fizzle out. Let's see where
Okay.
it goes. Does it get
Okay.
to 25 seasons?
Jeez,
And then I'll catch up.
Yeah. I don't
That
know.
way, because I'll binge watch 2 seasons a day. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Yeah, no, I feel
I'll be
you.
working and play it in the background and be like, all right, yeah.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
cool. This is legit. Like
You
that's
know.
how I feel about The Office. The Office is like my favorite show of all time.
I've started that a couple times,
Right.
and I've never got past season 2.
I've never watched it.
No,
Oh, bro, you're doing
I
this
started
on
watching-
service.
I have this weird thing where there's like too much hype around something. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not getting on that train.
See,
I'm not doing it.
yeah, and for some reason it was like a crazy hype a few years ago where The Office was just like blowing up for no reason, and
Yeah.
it was already off air. But like, I watched it like maybe like when it was on air, maybe like the season 7, you know. Gosh, Steve Carell was already off, you know, and I was like, that sucks. But you know,
I mean,
kinda
I
went
started
downhill.
watching it because it's like all these gifs and memes coming out. And I'm like, what the you know, like, yeah.
Yeah, how would you pronounce it? GIFs or GIFs?
It's GIFs.
It's gifs, bro.
Jif
Jifs?
peanut butter is with a J.
I
You
don't
say
care.
Jif.
yeah,
You know how many words have silent letters?
yeah,
You know what I
tomato,
mean?
tomato. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm going with gifs, right?
GIFs.
Okay.
That's how I would say it. But
I mean-
GIFs make sense. Like, if somebody corrected me, like, is it? All right,
It's a
yeah,
G.
GIFs.
Why
I
would it
mean,
not be gut?
what does Siri say? Like,
That's
I
a
don't
good
know.
question.
Siri
Pull
calling
out.
it a GIF?
Let's see.
I bet you she finds it both the same way. I have Siri turned off.
Oh, okay.
I don't want her to listen to me.
She's still listening.
Yeah.
She's just not talking back.
And Siri was such a cool thing when it first came out. Like,
Yeah.
it was like the coolest thing. Like, hey Siri, you know what I mean? Oh,
Right.
There he goes. Yeah, there
it's
he
the
goes.
future.
You might as well say, "Hey Siri, pull up the
Hey
office
Siri.
gifs."
No, yeah. Hey Siri, do you pronounce it GIFs or GIFs?
Okay, I found this on the web for Hey Siri, do you pronounce it GIFs or GIFs?
Oh, it's GIFs.
Ha.
It is GIFs.
That's
It is
right.
GIFs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
Wow.
Yeah, it's GIFs, ladies and gentlemen.
It's GIFs,
I
but-
stand 1-0. 1-0.
10-7 rounds.
You know.
Okay.
So the accolade for pronunciation comes to
Let's
this
change
guy.
the subject. I don't want to hear this shit.
You know what I'm talking about? It? I mean,
All right, so let's get into Up to Something.
Yeah.
So you guys, it's Up to Something Media.
Yes.
What does that mean? I know you got a
Right.
podcast.
Yes.
You guys did a Carne Asada festival.
Yes,
which is
we hosted it.
amazing.
Thank you, man.
I'm a
Appreciate
huge
it.
Carne Asada fan.
Really? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
The taquerias are my thing.
Ooh, yeah,
That's
man.
my.
No, dude,
Ooh.
it's yeah, man, and I appreciate yeah, man. So with Up to Something, it's kind of crazy how we kind of came about. We were just like,
were
you
you
know,
guys up to something?
No, they were in a group chat.
Did you
we were in a
miss it?
group
It started
chat
from
you
a
know?
group chat.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
up
yeah.
to something, Eric.
Yeah, and you know, we've kind of it's kind of crazy. So we kind of talked about it in one of our latest episodes how it all kind of really started that I met Diego. Shout out to my boy Diego.
Is that the other co-founder?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's Diego. I'm not going to give out last names. It's like I'm like giving government names out here, but Diego, Daniel, and Shamir. So and me, you know, we're the founding fathers. You know what I mean? So it all started out with me meeting Diego at Texas Tech because my brother went to Tech. So he was like, you know, dorm rooms with my brother, you know, playing games and shit, and you know, we were like chopping it up, and we had a lot in common. And then I met Shamir maybe like 2 years later, and we like kicked it off. And then I introduced Shamir to Diego, and then Shamir actually worked at Academy, Sports and Outdoor Shout Out Academy in Frisco. So
This is Select Few sponsorship.
yeah, you know, Academy, you know,
we're currently being sponsored by Up to Media.
yeah.
So we're all up to something.
we're all up to
You know what I
something.
mean?
You know, always up to something. You
Send
know?
the bag.
Yeah,
Only the select few or something.
only select few. Exactly. Whoa, you know,
What a
put that on
what a
t-shirt.
collab right
What
there.
a collab, yo.
Yeah.
We could
Every
make
time
some
I do an
t-shirts.
episode, I feel like I had to file a trademark the next day. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, that's good.
Yeah, we might have to talk about deals later.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So we all came to Shamir's apartment, and we used to get like, you know, pretty drunk sometimes. You know what I mean? Sorry, mom. You know, but, yeah, we used to get, you know, pretty,
Yeah,
you
sorry,
know,
Mom.
yeah, sorry, but yeah. So we used to get, you know, get kind of lit, and you know, we just had so much in common talking about sports, music, sneakers, and fashion. That's like what really kind of got us together. And we're like, just like anybody else would be like, yo,
Yeah.
let's start a podcast. You know what I mean? So one day, you know, we just came and recorded our first episode, and we had no name. We had no idea what the name was going to be. And I think Shamir like brought it up, and like for some reason he would just like listen to like Travis Scott or something like that. And then he was like, oh, Up to Something. But instead of like T-O, it'd be the two to make it more unique, I guess, you know. And then I remember he just like posted on Instagram, like, oh, that's kind of neat, you know? And I always like, maybe up until a few months ago, I knew who came up with the name first and like all this other stuff. But it was just like, we just ran with it. But yeah, man, we've just been blessed, man. We started back in 2016, and it was like, you know, kind of inconsistent at first. You know what I mean? We started with one microphone, like a shit microphone too. It was like one of those like $30
karaoke machine
Yeah,
microphone.
you know what I'm saying? We would like put it like right there in the middle. Be like, all right, let's talk about some stuff. And we were so unorganized, man. We were crazy unorganized. And then, you know, we're like, you know what? Let's kind of find our footing a little bit. You know what I mean? Not talk over each other, and you know what I mean? Like actually be more structured, get bullet points of, you know, what we could talk about. And, you know, back in 2019, we started getting a little bit more serious about, you know, hey, you know, let's start putting up on SoundCloud, started buying equipment, and we just started doing that. We did it in a studio apartment in a kitchen at Diego's apartment. Shout out to HAQ, which HAQ stands for head ass quarters, right? So like, you know, because we're just always on some head assery, you know. So we really are, you know, and we're like always scared about getting canceled. We had to delete a couple of episodes, but
Shit.
yeah, no, but not like in a bad way. Not to insult anybody, but you know, sensitive topics, you know.
Yeah, go
But,
woke or go broke.
but you know, always respectful, of course. And you know, we just kind of of like rebranded, and I would say 2020 is like where we really got our break when pandemic happened and that kind of like sucked. You know what I mean? And we started doing festivals. Carne Asada, Sonia Kilo, actually, shout out to Sonia, gave us our real big break on doing hosting. And we just had her on a podcast like not even a week or two before, like even her giving us a job, and she was like, "I love your energy. I love this. Blah blah blah. What do you guys think about hosting the our Carne Asada Fest over?" And it was the first one was at Sons and Herndon Hall over there in Deep Ellum, and right by Double Wide, and we were nervous as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, and I was like, "Oh well, who's all performing?" It was like local acts like Kush with the C, Texas Cake.
Shout out Kush.
Kush. Yeah, shout out Kush, man. Kush is dope, man. Shout out to
Why do
him,
you have
man.
to say Kush with a C?
Because he spells it with a C.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that
Shout out
man's
to
OG.
Kush with a C.
Shout out Kush with a C.
Find him
man.
on Instagram.
Yeah, Kush with a C. Hey, but he's
Hard,
got
bro,
bars. Hard. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But like, and then
we got a track, bro. That's crazy. You heard it.
yeah, crazy, man. Shout out to Kush, man. So, and then the headliner was Big Tuck, and Big Tuck is a Dallas legend, man. Like Texas legend at that. You know what I mean? If you hear Southside the Realest, people go crazy in the clubs here. You know what I mean? It's just like a staple. It's almost like listening to UGK out here, but like everybody hears Southside the Realest on clubs. You know what I mean? It's like you got to go crazy. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
Or Not a Stain on Me. You know what I'm saying? He's got hits, man. Shout out to Big Tuck. And
But it's the big T.
Yeah, man.
UCK.
Yeah.
Chew on a mic like a Mike Bush face.
Nah, no, bro.
That's
I'm telling
a Big Tuck with a T.
big TUCK, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, and it was like we were kind of nervous because this was like one of our first times really like getting a big break with the artists that we grew up listening to and things of that nature. And then we had NFL superstars, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dietrich Wise. He's a defensive end for the New England Patriots, and the WWE superstar R-Truth. I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans. You watch wrestling?
Back in the day, I did.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He was
Rock Stone Cold Day.
Oh, so you were WWF era. You were,
Well,
get
they
the
went to
F out.
WWE.
I think it was WCW and WWE and WWF.
Well, it was WCW, WWF, and
Yeah.
then kind of WWE took
Yeah.
over.
Right. Yeah. I remember even seeing the t-shirts like "Get the F out."
Bro,
And
if
it
you're-
was
if you're
like
an 80s or 90s baby, you want to be a wrestler. That was your first
For
occupation.
sure.
Right?
I think you're
For
thinking about
sure.
NWO. And
yeah, but that was more of a group.
dude,
you know
like
what I mean?
when I went to a wrestling match at Caesar's Palace in Vegas as a kid in '95 with Hulk Hogan, and I got like grossness all over me, like
sweat?
Yeah, dude, all this sweat and like there's a couple blood drops, and I'm like, I don't even know which guy.
He's like,
that
"Let me
came
tell you
from."
something, brother."
And I'm just like, this is really cool, but that's when I realized Hulk Hogan was basically bald.
Yeah, dude.
like he got his ass.
You must
whooped.
have been sitting close
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
yeah.
Were you like
get-
front row?
to get debris on
Yeah, it
you?
was like fourth row.
Damn.
Damn.
But
Damn, he must have been hit hard.
Dude,
you know
that-
what I'm saying?
Huh?
Your dad took you?
So my mom, she worked for Caesar's Palace.
Oh,
And so
shit.
yeah,
okay.
she worked as a casino cage manager. So she
Oh,
used to
wow.
be able to get like the hookup, and we went to a match.
She actually went with you.
Yeah,
Wow.
Damn.
I
Yeah.
can't
Walter's
see
been
your
living
mom
that
at it.
life since
yeah,
he was
like
four, bro.
I don't I can't remember a lot of things from my childhood, but I remember certain little things. And
That's dope. That's like a
You know.
I still have yet to be in a wrestling event. You know what I mean? I would love to be at WrestleMania. I would love to go
I
to a
want to see
wrestling
midget
event.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Midgets.
Dude,
Like-
I've seen it, and it's the most entertaining shit I've
Like-
ever seen.
I remember when our boy G went to that. Remember?
Yeah.
And he had nothing but cool shit to say about it. I'm just like, how cool would that be?
He's kind of obsessed.
But I want to see like one big wrestler and then all midgets, right? Like I just
Like 7 of them
yeah.
versus.
I want to I want to see it for like size comparison because it's like you see a bunch of midgets, right? And depending on the camera angle, guess what? They look the same. Okay, but now you go put a 6 foot tall wrestler in there, right?
Right.
And then
Okay.
a whole bunch of midget
Versus the
wrestlers.
7 dwarves.
Yeah.
I mean, would you say that's like kind of just like like Andre the Giant going against like Rey Mysterio? You know,
I
yeah.
think in a sense, but I don't know. Just something just sounds really
Shout out Rey Mysterio.
Shout out to Rey Mysterio, man.
like awesome.
Or 619. But yeah, I mean, midget wrestling is actually small people wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Midget.
So,
Midget. It's
so-
no offense. I mean, small
Yeah.
people, midgets, whatever you refer to yourself as is what we respect.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, that shit was crazy. When I saw that it was over at Wizards in Richardson, and I was just like, this is a real thing. Like, what? They had like a whole wrestling ring in there. Obviously not going to be big enough.
Well, isn't
It's
that
a little
what-
tiny
isn't-
one.
Isn't that what
Pretty much.
tabletop size? But isn't that what we said when he said I'm going to go to midget wrestling? We're like, is that really a thing?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
It is.
You know, like,
It's so entertaining, man. I would go back every time if I knew the schedule. I'm like, I would go back.
It does sound pretty dope.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
well, when I
love
was
it.
when I was booking stuff on that what was that Gig Salad, right? So Gig Salad, you can hire people to do certain things. So when I was trying to throw a party, they even had that as one of the things you can hire.
Really?
Yeah. It's
How
like,
much was it?
Dude, I don't even remember. I think it was like had a range. It was kind of like the mechanical bull people. They're on there too, but then like they get a quote and you thought it was gonna be like 500. It's like 2,200.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's gonna be no mechanical bull at this party.
Jeez.
You know.
Have you been on a mechanical bull?
Once
How would that go?
and not so good.
Yeah.
Nah.
How long did you last?
3 seconds.
Longer.
That's what she said.
Longer than I do in the bed. Okay.
You know, he was just training. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was training. He was sparring.
Yeah, I was trying to
Like
trying to
practice?
get
What's
my
practice?
groove.
Exactly.
Dude,
you know?
right now I'd probably throw a hip. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, for
you know,
sure,
Like
for
I
sure.
would need a week off.
Yeah.
To after if I rode a bull, but
Jeez.
part of me actually wants to ride a real bull. Like
Oh, no,
to,
no,
to jump
no.
on a bronc and just fucking get whipped.
Why?
Man.
I don't know.
Do you remember what the jet ski did to you?
Hey, I did.
tell-
you
what's going on? What happened to
shout
jet
out
ski?
to that jet ski that broke my rib last year.
Not in a cool way.
did.
That's
his
crazy.
hat flew off. He went to get his hat.
Yeah.
And he fell
Yeah.
off the jet ski. He's trying to get back on and broke his rib.
Oh,
yeah.
So it wasn't the jet ski's fault. It was
All
more
right,
your
so
fault.
so we're gonna do
boy's
some
made out of
clarification
cardboard
because
Okay.
that sounded really gay. All right, so like that sounded worse.
I was
than,
there. I
Than
know
it
what
really
happened.
was, right? So, well, yeah, you had to rescue me at some point.
I know.
You remember when the other guy on the boat jumps in there, like no life jacket, like swims over, like he's David Hasselhoff,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to save me.
Okay.
but I'm hanging on to the back.
Save
of the,
daddy.
I'm saving. I'm on the back. I'm like, so all right. Let me go back. So I'm out there whipping it, right?
All right.
And
You were going hard.
The hat-
You paid the ultimate price.
yeah,
for
the
going that
hat
hard.
the hat
Jeez.
flew off, right?
He was showboating.
Okay.
He was showing off.
But I look good. All right, I don't give a
did.
shit. I made that thing.
You- so-
And you know what? Shout out to your Lakers because they had Lakers colors on it.
It was
Oh,
a
shout out to
yeah,
the Lakers, yo.
purple,
yeah,
My boy
jet ski.
Kobe.
Yeah, R.I.P. Kobe.
R.I.P. Kobe, man.
And so hat flew off. I go back, and I know better. I've done jet skis my whole life, and I cut it too hard, and I fell off. And it was one of those days where we're having like 3-4 foot swells of waves. Like it was choppy, right?
yeah.
It's a lake.
Boy,
There
hit
was
that
no
DJ
waves.
Khaled.
You know it was choppy. I mean, the wind makes waves. Okay, it's not the ocean, but you know what I'm saying.
3
Yeah,
or 4
yeah.
foot waves.
Dude.
Choppy waters.
Yeah, it was rough. Okay,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
rough. I'm gonna show you. Okay,
No, I mean, no, I
Dude,
I
it was
believe
bad.
it. You know, you're on a boat. You know,
so the way this works, this was an older style jet ski that was like
Yeah, it
90s
has
model.
really shitty balance.
like old 90s style jet skis were not designed to like
Be easy to ride.
not
Right.
at all. Like you fell
Right.
off.
You
and-
had to be agile and
honestly, it'd be like trying to get
Hang
on a
on to it.
mechanical
Right.
bull that is moving.
Yeah.
and
Right.
so every time I jump up, the whole thing would flip back over and I fall back off.
Oh shit.
So after 3 attempts of getting back on the 4th attempt, I'm like, you know what? I got this. I'm gonna have to
Right.
get both knees at the same time, yada yada yada.
Right.
And then boom, this wave takes the jet ski straight in my chest and literally crack. Oh. And I'm like,
the wave was 7 feet tall, by the way.
yeah,
Jeez. Jeez.
get plus or minus 6 inches. but no, so that it was that dumb, but that easy to do.
Right.
That I broke my rib, and this
Right.
is on my kid's birthday party with
Yeah,
all his
that-
teenage friends.
That was a wrap on
16th
on Walter
birthday
for the
party
day.
for my son. We
a-
got
Yeah.
all his friends out there. This was in the first 45 minutes at the lake.
You just had to get all the attention.
And
It's my birthday, too.
I mean, I was the attention whore, man. And so, but you know what? So I broke it.
Yeah.
I'm hanging on. I'm like, at that point, I'm hanging on to the back of the jet ski. Like,
Yeah.
For dear life.
I literally said out loud, like, oh, that's not good. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there holding onto the jet ski. Realized I had a vape in my pocket. Like, get that shit out before it catch fire.
Oh,
and,
shit.
And so I
You're like one for good measure, and then just
No, I'm not gonna say I didn't try. I had a broken rib, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm like dangling on the back of the jet ski, and I'm like, you know what? I'm in deep water. I can't see underneath me.
Yeah.
I don't like deep water that I can't see, right?
I
don't
totally get
because there's
that.
some lake monsters out there. All right.
Yeah.
So,
and once I feel a tingle in my foot, I'm
and,
like,
you know,
gone.
so what I did is I was like, you know what? Well, you need to put your legs wrapped around each other, right? So
Right.
that way it takes the biggest fish to ruin your life. So I literally did that, and I laid there. But what happened is like my life jacket started sliding up and up. All right.
You're getting choked out.
Yeah, so I'm like laying there. And it's probably good 15, 20 minutes by the time
Right.
Eric comes back with the boat. and they don't even see a head.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
He was like from the eyes up, just, out in the distance.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I would be cheese. And the thing is, you have a broken rim, so you can't even swim.
I know. I was
where you're
done.
at.
I
He
was
was
done.
incapacitated for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I made it another 5 hours on that boat, like laid up on the seat, like
Yeah.
I can't do shit.
But I'm sure you can even breathe. It
Dude,
would
it
hurt
was
to even
so-
breathe.
Whiskey does wonders.
You know,
Wow.
I tried to get through it, and then I think it was about 1:30 in the afternoon. I was like, dude, y'all gotta get me out of here.
That's a wrap.
He drank a whole
Yeah.
bottle of TX and it revived him.
Yeah,
Really? TX.
I mean, TX does wonders.
Look,
you know what I mean?
saying TX, please.
I mean, that's a good thing. I let them drive the boat, so that way I
Yeah.
don't have to drink and drive. You know what I mean? That way I can
There you
enjoy
go.
my TX bottle. You know,
yeah, in pain, and it saved you. Honestly,
dude. It, honestly,
You know what
it
I'm
kept me
saying?
going long enough for my son to have fun for his
Yeah.
birthday. Because, dude,
Yeah.
I literally left there and went to the hospital. You know, I was
Dude,
like, I didn't
as
know what
you
was,
should.
because I didn't know. Of course, and then I started Googling. Do not WebMD shit.
Dude,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
because
saying?
you're
Like-
going to die.
Yeah,
like,
like,
you
you
know
now
what I
have
mean?
rib cancer.
Yeah,
Exactly. I'm like,
am I dead?
I'm
You know what
like,
saying?
I'm like, text my wife, hey, can I have that rib I gave you back? You know? I'm gonna need this. But yeah, literally X-rays, man. It was one that broke and 2 that cracked, and it took 6-7 months to really be able to move. And then it's like I hated people that made me laugh. I hated the fact that sneeze came on. Like,
Jeez.
dude, it's the worst thing I
Taking a
personally
shit
ever
had
been
to be
through.
crazy, too.
Dude, you cannot, bro.
Jeez.
Tensing up.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
man, if
like
you're
it's
constipated,
trying to go to
you're
the
fucked.
bathroom, right? But even trying, like, you're not gonna wipe backwards, okay? You're gonna have to wipe from the front.
I have a bidet.
So,
Front to back.
but
I
you-
just
I mean, you
damn.
have to though. Like, but even
Or you-
trying to lean forward and handle it, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
dude, it's torture.
I think, or you just take like one of those, like, when you take a shit, you're like, oh, I just need a shower at this
Yeah,
point.
I like.
But even if you make that move, you still got to wipe. You got to get the bulk out of there.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I managed to get through it, but dude, I was
Yeah.
like, there's so many times like I'm not going to the bathroom.
I
There's
feel
time
you.
I held it 4 or 5 hours. Like, I'm not going to the bathroom.
Oh shit.
And holding it hurt too, so it's like it didn't matter what the fuck I did. I couldn't sleep.
Just eat some McDonald's breakfast and that shit just come out.
Yeah,
It'll
Or some
clean
Taco
you
Bell.
out.
dude, it was bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Damn,
So,
man.
and then of course, literally on the 1 year anniversary, like a week ago, I take
Oh, well, happy 1 year.
I
Happy
took
anniversary.
my son back to the lake with another jet ski, but this one does like twice the speed and it's new.
Oh
and,
man.
You
Yeah.
have PTSD now when you go
Oh,
in
yeah.
the water.
Oh, for
Oh, I
100%.
had.
Flashbacks
Dude,
and like sweats
no.
and shit.
Well, it was crazy because it was like a repeat because the water sucked. It was
Yeah.
super choppy again.
7-foot waves.
You know,
They're back.
this time it was only 6-foot waves, but it's like I was like, nah. So like I jumped on this jet ski that does 80, right, supercharged, and I'm like, nah, I half throttled that thing. But then it's funny. So then one of the guys that went with me to help watch all these kids, he gets on it, dude, and he whipped it, and I swear to God, he left 10 feet.
Yeah.
Like he
took a tumble.
He was flung off this thing 10 foot. I'm like,
Yeah,
Skipped
but
across like a
people don't
stone.
understand jet skis are really hard to get on and like really start because you're
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
like this would be a little choppy. Then as soon as you feel that first bump, you're like, okay, I need to slow the fuck down.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
dude, that's how it was for me this time. Because
Jeez.
like before, I'm like, let's get 8 foot of air.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like
let's turn this bitch up.
I mean, I remember I took my wife in the out on out
Mexico?
in the Gulf, and we went on this like jet ski tour, and nobody showed up but us
Yeah.
and the guy doing the tour.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Y'all want a tour? You all just fuck
Right.
off." I'm
Just
like,
freestyle.
I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
off
let
dome.
me freestyle.
yeah, let me do this.
So
I
he's
got
like, "Let me
this.
show
I'm a
you one
professional."
thing." He takes me to this sandbar that's like in the middle of the water, like randomly. And so
Yeah,
after
that's
that,
kind of cool.
he literally gets on there, lays down, takes a nap. So I go balls to the wall. And,
Oh,
and,
shit.
And it's like, I don't know if you've ever been the passenger on a jet ski, but my wife had to be passenger.
Oh, she
And
was hating it.
I'm headed towards open water.
Right.
I'm like, oh shit, because
Full clip.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
all I'm thinking is like, sea swells, bro. They,
Yeah.
that's truly 7-8 feet, right? And I'm like, I want to jump that shit. I want to jump that shit, right?
I want to beat the shit out of the water that fucked
And
me up
so
last year.
I did the most I could. We had a good time, and she was scared to death, right? And she
course.
swears she'll never go again with me. But then, literally, like a couple weeks later, Shark Week started. I was like, I saw breach that they film. And I'm like, oh fuck, sharks get out, jump out of the water now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
never going back on jet ski in the water. I'm gonna look like that seal.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? I like now. I just envision it's like, you know, right out of the water on me.
That's funny,
But,
man. That's
dude,
funny. Well, I'm glad you're better, man. Happy anniversary
Yeah,
to you.
thanks. That's I don't want to remember that day, but you know,
Jeez.
shout out to C-Do.
Shout out. And TX. And TX.
TX whiskey fixed last year. C-Do superchargers
longest
fixed
collab
this
ever.
year.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
That's funny. Yo, TX, shout out to them, man.
Hell yeah. We just shot a commercial yesterday.
Yeah, no, he showed me. That's just nice. Well, he showed me the steals for the
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
we
it's
figure,
nice.
you know,
We're just shooting our shot.
We'll shoot our shot at
TX,
you know.
please. You know what I mean? You saved this man's life. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, you know,
Come on.
I mean, I know you care about viewership, TX, but you
Please.
know what?
Please.
Only a select few people do, and you should jump on this team to where we're going to do numbers without
Exactly.
you know, ahead of time. So start early, otherwise the price goes up.
Hey,
And the quality of video y'all are about to get, y'all'd have to go pay
I'm saying
a
sponsors.
media company probably like 50,000
For sure.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Bare
For
minimum.
sure. For sure, man. But yeah, man. So
So I want to go back to the festival thing.
okay, yeah,
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
intrigued with
I
the
was
Carne
thinking about
Asada
that.
festival.
Yeah, like
yeah.
What
so,
what does you hosting this? Did they come to you like,
They-
okay,
yeah.
we have the Carne Asada festival.
Yeah.
We want you to host.
Yeah, so it
what,
was
What does that entail?
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy because it's like Sonia was our guest on the podcast, and so 2 weeks later she calls me and she's like, "Hey, like, what do you think about hosting the event?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, I mean, I've hosted like parties, like, you know, just bullshitting around, but like this is a festival. You know what I mean? It's the
Yeah.
first annual one, so it's like more stress on top of that. Thinking like, okay, well, fuck, like, are we gonna be prepared? The festival's legit within a week, and I like, you know, consult with the boys. We were all legit. Like, I think we were just fixing up doing a Friday's episode. Shout out to Friday, man. But
Yes, sir.
we were at
who shot the video to the Carne Asada festival?
hey, that boy Friday. You know
Was
what I'm
it
saying?
Friday or was that
Hey,
guy
Friday did.
Thursday?
Hey, no, Friday did. And you know what's crazy? I actually threw a lob because I was like, yo, I was like, yo, who do you know anybody who does videography? I'm like, yeah, my boy Friday, he does cold stuff, sent to Instagram, and you know,
They put it on the news and everything, bro.
yeah,
Dang.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And I was just like, no, shout out to my boy Friday. He does cold work, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him.
so when
Yes, sir.
you're gonna go host this, and so your expectation is like house party.
I wouldn't say house party. Like, that's what the level I was at
Yeah.
before. You know what I mean? Like, house party, like, oh, like he's hosting and all this other stuff, and like little small events. But knowing that this is like 600 to 1,000 people that are gonna come up to this festival, and I'm over here like shaking. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I was like, gotta drink. You know what I mean? Gotta get ready. You know, loose up a little bit. You know, and then like it's always the first crowd reaction. You know, and
And you're fucking pumped.
yeah, I'm
You're
just like, I'm
I
just
was
like
built for this.
yeah, pretty much. Like, I get on stage and I'm just like, how y'all feeling tonight? And then it was like, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm just gonna Mamba mentality this and just be like,
Yeah.
hey, how y'all feeling tonight? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, that's what I'm talking about. And that's when I knew I was like, okay, I could do this.
Yeah.
I would have never
thought.
thought that, bro, because the first, you did two. You did two.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So the first one is when I first met you because I was
Yeah.
shooting for D-Tall.
Yeah.
I thought you'd been doing it, bro.
Bro, and it's crazy because like it's like a lot of people tell me I have like this like confidence, and I'm like, it's so crazy. Like, yeah, I do have that confidence, but it's like a now or never thing. It's like you're here now, so you have to do it.
You
know
got
what
to
I
be
mean?
put on the spot.
Yeah, you're put on the
Yeah.
spot, so you got to do it. So
Yeah.
it's just like,
I'm the same
okay,
Till
way.
you make it.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, if they're like, yo, you're here for the job. This, you said you were going to do it, so you have to do it. So I'm
So
like,
you
all
just
right, well,
go
I just
out
turned
of
it into
body,
a different,
just shake it off.
yeah,
and
shake it
just
off,
fucking
Mamba mentality, Kobe
kill
it
it.
out.
That's
And
what
I'm just
happened
like,
to Walter, bro. He started
Yeah.
the installation company. He pulled up to the house and just started shooting foam everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There were
Later.
7-foot waves in that house.
yeah. I mean, you know, people do call me and want 10 inches in their attic. You know what I mean? You know,
but yeah, no,
so
man.
you didn't actually have to
Didn't
do
get there
any
at
of
this
the. You didn't have to do any of the setup for the festival. or
Nah, I mean, it was shout out to
coordinating vendors and all that.
Yeah, no. So shout out to Sonia and her team, man.
Okay.
Like they really set that up, and like, you know, the first year, you know, going to Sons and Herndon Hall, then to the second year for them to rehire us because, you know, she said it was like a family affair in that, and you know they bumped it to from Sons of Herndon Hall to Southside Ballroom. So when she said, "Yo, we're doing this at Southside Ballroom," I'm like, "Do you know who's performed at Southside Ballroom? Like all of my heroes have
Right.
performed at Southside. You know what I mean?" So I'm just like, going backstage and like looking at the posters, like everybody there. I'm just like, I'm gonna be on the same stage as people doing this. So I was like, I had to turn up. You know what I mean? Which, fun fact, the day before I blacked out drunk before
God.
the second Carne Asada.
That's
So
like
I was
that's an
super
Eric
hungover.
move.
That's an
That's
Eric
an Eric move. Like, hey, we got
And I
we got a
didn't-
funeral
There's
tomorrow.
something
Eric.
very important tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wasn't
I'm staying
planning
up
on
until
it.
4 a.m.
Yeah, I wasn't planning
Like
on
our
it.
Christmases.
Man. Yeah.
Dude.
No, I mean, and I wasn't planning on it. I wasn't planning on getting drunk, but
We
that
never
just
did.
happens. It just happens,
Yeah.
And I remember going the next day and
The
like,
beer's fault.
yeah, no, it was like a lot of tequila shots, a lot of
shit.
that. You know
That's
what I mean?
bad.
Yeah, man. But that's another story. But
A lot of TX shots.
a lot of TX. You know what I'm saying? TX whiskey.
hosting this event, are you like responsible for kind of pushing it and bringing people there?
Yeah, and 100%.
Is this something you get paid for?
Yes.
Or is it kind of just exposure?
No, so it really depends on the promoter. So you know what I mean. If the promoter back then, now we do it for a bag. You know what I mean. So because we were rookies.
Yeah.
The way I see it is like
was
if
an
you're first
opportunity.
if you're first starting off doing this stuff, I feel like you need to get your feet wet. Promote yourself and promote the. It's good on your resume. You know what I mean. And then once money starts rolling in, you're like, okay, this is gonna be my base price. And then every time it just elevates, like, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna be paid. So definitely get paid for these events, you know what I mean? And never sell yourself short, you know what I mean? Be like, hey, this is what, you paid before. Let's bump it up maybe like 5 to a rack or something like that, And then they'll be like, okay, let's, if you get tickets sold, because they see that, the first Carne Asada, I think they had sold, I'm not gonna say a number, but like they sold a lot of tickets. And I think we pushed it to the point where we sold maybe another 100 to 200 tickets.
Okay,
So
that's pretty good turnout.
yeah, which is crazy because it's like, when you tell your friends, like, this is our first time hosting, you got to come out. And you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They don't get that buyer's remorse, like, oh, well,
Sure.
we had to keep buying every
Yeah.
time. But it was like the first one. So it was like our baby kind of thing. But, like I said, like, big ups to Sonya and the team because they really did a good job, coordinating everything.
Sure.
And, putting the artists together and things in that nature. And we've had these meetings and the second year was even bigger because you've had bigger names like Paul Wall, Slim Thug,
Yeah.
Chris Perez, Nina Sky, and like all these people I listened to, like, when I was growing up, and like meeting Paul Wall, and then like taking a picture, like, yo, what's up? Like, nice to meet you,
Yeah.
Mr. Wall, nice to meet you,
Mr. Wall.
thank you. You know what I'm saying, for like getting my
Mr.
childhood.
Freeze.
Did he
know what
have
I'm
his
saying?
grill in?
Of course.
Let me tell you something. He is the iciest motherfucker ever, bro.
Yeah?
Like,
Yeah.
that grill was crazy to
Yeah.
see in person. I'm like, you were on a song
the
with Nelly,
Iceman
and
Paul
Paul Wall.
Wall.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro,
Dude.
I was like, that shines like a
I
disco
mean,
ball for
if
sure.
Paul Wall ever wants to come on the show, man, hit me up. I will
Yo,
really order
we're
a
working
select
on
few
it.
grills.
Yeah,
right?
hey, Paul, come on mine too. You know what I'm saying? Pause.
Pause.
Pause,
You know.
But, yeah, no, I mean,
Mr. Paul.
Mr. Paul, Mr. Wall, please. But no, and it was really cool just like meeting those people. And Big Tuck also, it was really cool to see because Big Tuck recognized us from the first Carne Asada. So
Yeah.
Big Tuck does not do any interviews at all.
No.
And, we were up and coming and he was just like, we're trying to do like little side interviews for all the artists that were at the first Carne Asada. And I remember I was hosting and then the other guys, we all host. So just for clarification. So wherever I go, my team goes. Wherever my team goes, I go. So
Besides
isn't it-
this podcast.
Yeah, I
right.
mean,
Besides this one,
Okay.
they're
I
working
was
right
gonna
now.
say,
So
are
I
they
was just
waiting
like,
in the car?
Yeah, no, they're waiting in the car.
Like,
they
you
go
have
to
the
a different
AC on,
school,
right?
Yeah, I left my kid in the car. Nah,
do we need to go check on him?
yeah, no, I need to go check. Diego, no, but
They're like,
nah, man,
we're
nah.
not. We're too big for select few.
Yeah,
Too
nah,
big. Be
nah,
like,
nah. But nah, man, like honestly, really shout out to them because without them, I wouldn't be where I am at right now because
Yeah,
it really takes a
Diego.
group effort, man.
Where are you at,
sure.
Diego?
Yeah,
Come on, Diego.
Yeah, Diego, Daniel, Shamir, all them, man. Like, and shout out to even people who've been on the team. Ty, Zoe, and then Zoe and Cassandra have Mahal Eating, which they've done like a Filipino cuisine. Shout out to them
we
doing
gotta have
numbers.
them on here for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Great people. All the people I work with are people who are always going to be a part of my life, and they've became my best friends, who are my family. They're my brothers, my sisters, things, And but every time like hosting, that's a big thing for me. It's like, hey, yeah, sure, I may know people, I may know this, but like nobody will learn unless you teach them. So it's like, hey, like if I know these people, I want to bring them on, put them on and be like, hey, this is how it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is how, you talk to, certain people or like do the interviews or like host and like, this is what you should say. This is what you shouldn't say. You know what I mean?
Act like you're supposed to be here.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it takes
Say
time.
more than 4 words.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it takes time. Like, for instance, like, you say that you don't really, talk much in the interviews, but like, that's how it was with Daniel. Daniel he was like really shy. You know what I'm saying? But then he is probably the best interviewer out of all 4 of us. Better than me, Diego, or Shamir. Like, he's the Barbara Walters.
When he's in his zone, he's
in his zone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like the thing is that everybody in the group has their strengths. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like, that's what I wanted. Like, to be a group, not like to be solo. Because I could have been doing this solo if I wanted to. But knowing that we're
But
better together.
Everyone
we're
adds a little something to it.
Yeah, we're up to something. You
It's
know
a
what I
team.
mean? Yeah, we started as a team. We're going to end as a team. You know what I mean? I'm always about putting people on because a lot of people are selfish here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Let's be real.
Facts.
You know what I mean? They really like to talk about like, oh, we like to bring people up, blah, blah, blah. But then when money starts coming in, they're like, well, maybe not. You know what I mean? They don't want to, they gatekeep and they say like, oh, I put on for my city, blah, blah, blah. But you did some sleazy shit, you cut corners and you did all this. But, with me, like the way I am is like, hey, I'm going to put you on. Like, this guy said like, Friday, I barely even knew Friday. You know what I'm saying? But I knew he had good work and he hustled. And I was like, yo, but he puts out good work. I was like, yo, let me put you on with Friday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think he's all right.
Yeah, I mean,
You
know what I mean?
and we've had numerous guests come on
Yeah.
and just praise him.
Yeah,
So,
no, for sure.
mean,
And you know what I'm saying? Because like the work speaks for itself. And I
Yeah.
feel like people really, you know what I'm saying?
I need a raise, bro.
But it just shows that. Like,
I mean, Fiverr has some dope artists on Fiverr.
Yeah,
with it,
sure,
It's
sure.
like $35 a clip or
yeah, I
something.
mean, sure, but they're not going to be like Friday.
you
You
get
know what I'm saying?
$35 quality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
know what I'm saying?
You never know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's
I
just,
mean, there might be a dude out there named Thursday who's willing to.
Thursday's wacky.
Thursday,
You know it.
yeah.
I mean, we're gonna go to Wednesday.
Maybe Wednesday.
Yeah, let's go to
Wednesday's dope.
Or Hump Day, Mr. Wednesday.
Shout out to Wednesday Adams.
But
Wednesday Allen, my dog.
Wednesday Allen.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
exactly.
yep, shout
That's
out.
Right, Wednesday.
shout out, yeah, shout out to
All right, y'all. I gotta piss.
all right, go piss, and we're gonna talk more about the jet ski
Clones.
thing.
So you guys have a pretty wide variety of guests.
Yes.
I noticed you. I don't know if you started like that, but lately I was watching your stuff, and you
Yeah.
guys focus on like Dallas creatives.
Yes, no, for sure. And I mean, we definitely, the reason why we do that is because it's kind of like what you guys were saying. It's like we just love like talking to people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
We just like, you don't have to be you don't have to have 1 million followers. You could have 10 followers or whatever. But as long as the way we see it is like, if you have a passion for it, we're always going to like back that. So,
Sure.
you know what I mean? So like we've had people who've, WWE superstar R-Truth. We've had Dietrich Wise, NFL, champion. We've had like creatives like, Debbie Stones and like business owners. We've had Friday on there, songwriters, fashion designers, all these people who've been on. And they've always said a different story. You know what I mean? And that's what we love. It's like we're meeting that person. Sometimes we just met that person. We've never even, met this person before, but we're getting to know this person. We create like great relationships.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna say it again, like Friday. You know what I mean? Like we just like got to know the person. It's like
He
I've
must
known
be
this
like
person.
your biggest guest.
No, man, no. He just has so much knowledge, man.
I'm
Shout out
just
to
the
Friday.
most solid, man. I'm just
Yeah, man.
No,
You know?
we do owe credit and shout out to Friday. I mean,
Yeah, no, for sure,
that's-
man.
We're the select few because the three of us
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
that's
course.
why we're
We
in
all
this
we all
together.
bring our certain magic to it.
Yeah, man. And,
And-
the thing,
bro. You seen our guest lineup, bro? Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whole podcast starting off like that.
no, absolutely not, bro. We started off with just like our friends, just like talking shit. You know what I mean?
Did you know I had Friday's mom on the show?
Really?
Yeah.
No
Second
way.
episode.
I tell you what, that's the most intimidating episode I've ever done.
She-
Really? You're
she's
like,
a
let me not
strong-
talk shit about my son.
She's strong, bro. Like,
Oh,
she's,
no, yeah.
she's awesome,
yeah.
but she's an accomplished woman.
yeah.
But she's very intimidating.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, and I've met her when Friday was shooting the film. The short film. Shout out to you. By the way, I haven't never told you, but like he's got accolades on that
We
too.
should take a shot every time you say Friday.
Yeah, no, it is Thursday. It was Wednesday or Thursday. Today's Wednesday. Fucking
Dude,
hell.
it's hump day,
yeah.
bro.
yeah. Yo, yeah, this whiskey, you know what I'm
Right?
saying?
Please- hey,
Please
shout
continue
out,
on the accolades
shout
that
out
I
to
speak on.
Brothers Bond whiskey.
Brothers Bond.
is let me give you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Little
Let's
snark.
run a little bit. Let's
Because
do it.
Brothers Bond is my flavor of choice. On
And
the
we're
show.
bonding right now.
You know,
So
Brothers.
yeah, there you go.
Eric?
You drink it?
No, I'm good.
Have a snorkel.
All right.
All right, there
Let's
you
have
go.
a
Yeah,
snorkel.
fuck it.
You know, shout out to our boys at Brothers Bond.
Yeah, shout out to
You
that,
know,
man.
you want to know something interesting about Brothers Bond?
What's going on?
So the two dudes that started Brothers Bond, surprisingly enough, are the two main characters in Vampire Diaries.
No
Yeah.
way.
So
Do you watch that? by the way?
My girlfriend watches that.
Of course she
Shouts to
does.
Paloma.
Dude.
All women do.
I'm not gonna lie or front or flake on this one, but I have
Yeah.
watched the entire thing twice.
Really?
Of Vampire Diaries.
He's a fanboy.
Dang, I
And-
might need to watch it.
And you know, and surprisingly, like it was actually pretty cool, man. Like
Really?
it's like it's like teenish, right? But
Yeah.
like the storyline behind the whole thing was great.
Okay.
And so like these two dudes,
Is this similar to like Stranger Things, to where it's like
yeah,
kinda,
yeah. So it's in that like teenager realm, right? Where it's still
Yeah.
Teenage
entertaining,
but dope.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
still dope enough to watch, and it's
Yeah.
not like graphic horror film like vampire
sure.
stuff. But like, I was entertained enough to watch it twice, and I think there's like 8
Damn.
seasons of it.
You got
Shit.
a lot of
and
free
so
time.
and so like these two dudes, on the show is like Damon
Yeah.
and Stefan, right? And they were brothers, but like did not like each other. Like they kept killing each other, right?
What?
Vampires don't die, but
Oh, that makes sense.
They
Yeah.
just kill each other
Yeah,
over
they
and
just
over.
kill each other, and then they lock them in like these rooms where they can't get out. Like you're like bound in there
fucked
by
up,
like
man.
supernatural shit. But like, dude, it's entertaining shit, and it's crazy enough.
Right.
The chick that they fight over, her name's Elena.
Oh,
That's why he likes it.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
you know, but it's just super funny. But
He's like, this story's about me.
so
He's
Eric,
having
so
PTSD about
so
the
that-
club moment. He's like, oh shit.
So, but it's funny because we when we do UFC night, we do it over here at the bar, right? We have this bar, this awesome little game room bar. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
Yeah, no, that's the one that we just
Yeah.
went to.
Yeah,
that's sick.
I'm
UFC night in
so
that bitch?
so we do UFC night,
yes.
and so we pay per view the UFC, and we do some drinking, play some poker and stuff, and hang out.
It's super dope.
And
yeah, for
and I
sure.
pay for everything, but the only thing I ask is, and this is actually
Bring a bottle.
bring a bottle.
Oh, it's easy.
Right, because I got a bar, so I'm like, you know what? There's no price tag, no nothing.
Right.
Because Brothers Bond's like $39.
Yeah.
So it's not even $high dollar stuff, and they
Right.
brought $10, $15 stuff and stuff that's like
Right.
you don't even want to open because it's the prettiest bottle.
Yeah.
And it's like that's all you're buying is. So that's how I
Right.
filled the bar. And he comes, he's like, dude, I found this bottle, called Brothers Bond, and it's super cool. And he's
Yeah.
like, but you'll never believe who made it.
Yeah.
and
wow.
he's like, it's the brothers from Vampire Diaries.
I knew you'd be so
And-
stoked.
and so,
Well,
like-
I originally picked it. He's my brother-in-law. We have a great
Okay.
relationship.
Oh, wow.
you know.
That's your like brother-in-law does
yeah, yeah,
Vampire
yeah.
Diaries.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
like
Yeah.
we're living it.
So I picked this bottle because it's Brothers Bond, right?
Okay, yeah.
It seems dope. I
Right, right.
give it to him as a gift, and then I find out it's this whole connection to the show that he loves. And it was
That's
just
crazy.
Right, yeah,
Right.
and it's like
Yo.
and of course, he's talked mad shit about the show, but then
Yeah.
it's like when he was so excited about that, then I got really fanboy excited. I'm like, are you shit? I'm like these dudes actually made a whiskey, right?
Yeah.
it gave because like they're like kind of like feminine type roles, right?
Right.
Like they're supposed to be like those poster boys that go on
Right.
teen girls' walls, you know?
Yeah.
and it's like
Twilight shit.
so then
Twilight
when
shit,
they come
yeah.
out with this badass whiskey, I'm like, dude. So I've been a fan of Brothers Bond ever since.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should have you had them on the pod? You should.
Nah, so what's cool is
They ghosted us.
their distillery is in that's because they're
Arkansas,
that's because they're
right?
vampires.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
They're
that's true.
vampires, so they're not.
We gotta
actually
talk
not
to
real.
him. We gotta send him DMs at night.
Is that what
Oh,
it is?
shit.
Yeah, they're not active during the day.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're nocturnal, right?
But I mean, you gotta be,
Jeez.
but Damon though, he was the sketchy one on the show.
Oh, okay.
But he was the smart one.
Was
it was
he?
like
Damn.
they're like the modern day Pinky and the Brain.
Damn, don't tell me I need to go watch the show with my girlfriend now.
Dude,
That's
I tell
crazy.
you what, like if your girlfriend already watched it, like literally,
She
tell,
watches
tell
it,
her
like-
to start over and rewatch it because, dude,
You hear that, babe? We're gonna rewatch fucking Vampire
like,
Diaries.
I don't care who you are.
God.
I mean, because dudes can talk shit all they want. But
Yeah,
you
no,
know
for
what?
sure.
But you know what?
I'm a fan.
I know damn well that when their wives are watching them girly ass shows and they're laying in bed because they
Yeah.
don't want to be out in a different room while they're watching the show, they're peeking over like, oh, shit.
This is kind of piques my
Did
interest.
Karen really pick Joseph? You know, like
That bitch.
you know, yeah, exactly. Like, be like, what do you mean Love is Blind?
For the streets.
You know, like, you know, they're watching Love is Blind up there.
Yeah,
you know
of
what I mean?
course.
So it's like, I watched Vampire Diaries. My wife doesn't like this type of show, but I watched it independently. I don't care.
No, hey,
I
you know
am
what?
not afraid. Like,
You know what? I salute you to that.
Yeah,
man. I salute you for that
I'm
because
like-
you know, you can pick up what you're watching with your
Yeah.
significant other. Like,
For real.
you know, like me and my girlfriend, we just started watching. Well, she's been watching New Girl, and I'm just like, no, I haven't never seen New Girl, and I was like, but I'm a advocate of like, hey, if we're watching something, we got to start from the very beginning.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm
Be
saying?
invested together.
Exactly.
But isn't it funny how like they'll start watching the show, you'll be independently watch a different show. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm not watching that show. The next
Exactly.
thing you know, you're both watching the show.
Yes.
And you're like talking about it.
What
You're
happened
like,
to Jessica?
What the fuck?
Where'd she go?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
are you shitting me? Like it's like, dude, I'm trying to remember the show. What's the doctor show that's got like 18 seasons now? Grey's
Oh,
Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so,
Of course.
So it's funny because I watched like 8 or 9 seasons with my wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those. She started on her own, and I was like, you know what,
Right.
I'm laying in bed anyway, right?
You wanted
Yeah.
to prove your love?
No, it wasn't proof nothing. What happens is you start hearing the storyline, and you're like, why?
You're invested.
I'm like, why is that nurse screwing that doctor in that closet
Right.
when she just screwed that doctor
Right.
in that closet? You
Yeah.
know, and I'm like, so I'm getting into it, right? Next thing you know, it's
Yeah.
8 or 9 seasons in. And I'm
Dude,
like,
that's how it starts. That's how it starts,
it
bro.
is. It
Jeez.
is. Like, you try to pull that man card, like, I'm not watching that. And
Yeah,
then-
like
and
I
then-
don't care for this, and
Yeah.
they're like really invested.
But
I get it.
you know, you want to spend time with them. You want to be there.
Yeah.
You want to cuddle and, you know, pretend like you're watching so you can, you know.
You want to cut?
You know?
Oh my god!
Oh,
Are
I
you
mean,
still watching?
you
Yes,
know.
Netflix.
That's
I'm
why.
still
That's why.
watching.
That's why wives be like, you know, you can't get a massage without wanting something. You know, what I mean? Like, I'm like, well, you know, it's, you know, touching. You know, I was like, the energy starts flowing. I'm like, what else?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's an internal massage, lady.
Bro, I get a hard on from just sleeping.
Yeah.
You touch me, it's game over.
Oh, 100%. I'm like, what do you want me to do about this? Like we have.
I'm dead, man.
Like you have. I mean, you know.
Yo, you're like, yo, man.
But-
it's
but
like
I-
you're still 15 with your first boner. You're like, yo, you just touched my leg.
But-
and
but
you're
It's
fucking-
an NRB.
Bricked
No reason,
up.
You said
Exactly.
bricked up?
Yeah, over your brick
And
up.
when you're over 30, I don't care what you say.
Okay.
When you wake up in the middle of the night, you got one. You're like, "Oh, man, what is going on?"
Yeah, I
You
still
know?
got it. Like,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
dude, the other night.
I grab my AirPods. I go to the bathroom. I take care of business.
Oh man,
Yes, no,
That's a
aliens.
place
I
to
fuck
go.
with aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too.
but I
with
mean,
aliens.
that's the thing. Like with all of this shit, it does make me wonder why now. Why are we now in 2023 as a society like the American government? Because it's not the other governments in the other countries, right? It's
Right.
the American government. Why are they now telling us? It's like, you know what? Let's tell them about it. Is it because Biden's son's been doing deals
No,
in
they
Russia?
want you to stop thinking about
That 4chan shit
Nancy
is crazy.
Pelosi's stock options.
I mean, is
No.
that like literally like you have to question that as just as a human being, like, or just an American,
Right.
like, why now? Like, what's going on? Because historically, and I say this from my standpoint, right? Nobody else's view, and you don't have
Right.
to be affiliated with it.
Right.
Historically, if you look at some of the biggest announcements, right? And Alien, that's a big announcement, and
Right.
the world does not seem to give a shit.
No, it's
I give a super shit because if I get struck right, we can get fucking invasion right now. And I'm like, well, it's been real, y'all.
I will
Link in
tell
bio.
you. I will tell you something wild, right?
Yeah.
So a friend of mine, who he's a very good he's a great person. He's been very instrumental, like in my faith, the education of my faith, right, through God, right.
Right.
He actually has a theory that if we announce aliens, right, and say like in the Bible they talk about the rapture.
Okay.
Okay, the rapture is when the chosen people will be
Okay.
basically they'll disappear. They'll go to heaven, right? I
Right.
don't know how familiar you are with that. Well, that's his theory. If we tell them now about the aliens and all these, you know, tens of thousands of people, right? I think it's like in the Bible it's like 280,000 people
Right.
disappear. They can literally blame it on the aliens,
Okay.
right? But then the other theory from a whole nother person,
Okay.
that's a faith-based theory.
Right. Okay.
Then from a whole nother theory was that Bill Gates and all these other guys in this new world order are talking about population control. that we do need to lower the population, right? It's getting out of control more or less. And that's why Bill Gates is buying all this farmland and shutting down the biggest potato farms in the country and stuff like that, right?
Is that why he pulled out of Microsoft?
We have no idea, but he is the now.
That's why he pulled out of Epstein Island.
I mean, that's another thing, right? But I mean, if you really think about some of this little shit, right? And you can use aliens as your reference.
Okay.
All this random conspiracy theory shit, right? It's conspiracy theories until the government decides to tell you that it's true, right?
Sure.
So aliens has always been a conspiracy theory. There's aliens. People have been abducted, right? But now it's
Right.
like, so now you got to go back to all those people and say, I'm sorry.
Right.
Now it's just common knowledge.
Right, exactly. But all these things right now, so you got the faith-based option, and then you got this other one where he's saying that like people are going to die. The government is actually going to eliminate people who do not view a certain way of life. Like they don't vote a certain way, they don't act a certain way, they don't all this stuff.
They're gonna Thanos us.
More or less,
Snap a finger.
but the way they're gonna do it through that, so that's where the whole that conspiracy of that, because Bill Gates on record 100%, and y'all can look it up. Anybody out there watching, he owns the most farmland of any person in the world. Right?
Wow.
The Queen of England, right? Who rip her, right?
Yeah.
She is the largest landowner in the world.
Wow.
Okay. But Bill Gates is the second largest landowner, but the largest farm owning landowner.
That's crazy.
And nobody knows because he's literally bought a potato farm about a year ago now, and he shut the fucking thing down after buying it.
Damn.
Why? Because you control the food source.
He wants you to starve.
I mean, but that's what I don't know, right? And honestly, it doesn't matter what I know or don't know, but that's what I read, right?
Damn.
So then you look at that, and then you're like, so if people disappear
Right.
through whatever that is, right? So like people start taking out, and so that's tied into the new thing, and you can look this up, and I don't quote me because I can't remember the exact name of it, but it was basically the social credit score.
Okay. Have you seen Black Mirror?
So he brought that
He
up.
hasn't watched it.
Oh, you need to watch
fucking
it.
So I haven't
Black
watched it, but the
Best show ever.
So good.
So the Democrats and some other people right now are talking about the social credit score, and I don't say that from like a religion or not a religion, but like a
political.
That wasn't a political stance. That was like literally like the Democrats are the ones who are actually speaking on it, saying that like Maxine Waters, and that's why I said Democrat, because she said that it will not be an option.
Okay.
That's the future, is that a social credit score is in play. Well,
That's crazy.
That social credit score is going to decide on who you can get funding through based off of
Who you know.
Right.
Okay.
So
you know what I think the problem is with all this? Is that people see these headlines and they may be intrigued, but they're not reading the article.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You look
It's
at the
clickbait.
headline,
It's clickbait
and then
sometimes.
you're like, "Oh shit, aliens are real."
Yeah.
Oh, let me see who Ariana Grande is dating.
No,
That's
right, yeah,
it's legit. That's the news, though.
I mean, let's be real. Ariana Grande is the new Taylor Swift,
Bro.
You know, except
Are
for
you a Swiftie? Do you like Taylor Swift?
I like OG Taylor Swift.
I don't
right?
fuck with Taylor Swift at all. I'm a
You know?
Kanye fan.
I mean, between the two, obviously, right? But,
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, Ariana Grande just marries all her boyfriends. Taylor Swift doesn't. You know what I mean? That's the only difference. You know, she literally is getting divorced, but started dating another guy who's already married.
Yeah, she's out here hoeing.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, if Mac Miller was still alive, she should have never left him.
Nah.
Don't do that to Mac.
Nah, don't do that to Mac. Mac
You know,
is OG,
I mean,
man.
Mac, that led him to more drugs. You know,
Nah,
she
I don't-
broke his heart.
I don't really believe in that though. You know, I feel like, when people are really into drugs, like they're like really into it. But
It's a lifestyle. It takes you over.
Exactly. And then
I think it is.
And anything you take anything to heart. You know what I'm saying? Like if you talk to a drug addict, people on pills, whatever, people on pills, people doing all that shit, man. Like, yeah, like you're gonna take everything to heart. You're gonna do all that shit. So I wouldn't blame it on just one person. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
But by the end of the day,
all
people know what they're
situational.
doing. Yeah, you know what you're doing by the end
I
of the day
mean,
as a person.
if you look at their
R.I.P. Mac Miller, though, you would go.
yeah,
Like,
nah, dude, what a goat, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, it sucks.
yeah, it sucks, man.
But like when on the outside looking in, I'm like, dude, his music changed as soon as they broke up.
he's influential.
Yeah,
But that's how
his
every
music was
musician is.
amazing, but it was rap, it was cool, it was vibing right,
Right.
and he did drugs, and he met Ariana and it changed his life, and all of a sudden, like when they broke up,
Right.
his music the whole genre changed to what he did.
It was soulful.
It was sad.
And the thing is that's every artist. Think about it.
Yeah.
You can't think about a very happy song that everybody knows. You can think about the most depressing song ever and be like, that's the greatest song ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can know you know more sad songs than you know happy songs.
You know what's funny is like when I think about songs from back in the day, I started thinking about Joe. Did you
Joe,
ever-
the R&B singer.
Yeah, he's rocking out like, I don't want to be a player.
Whoa, what was that guy that made the "Fuck You" song?
Iman.
Fuck you, you bitch! I don't want you back.
Damn, what? I was like in
That
fifth
was
grade
the
when that shit
jam.
came out.
Yeah,
And I was
for
just
real.
like, what
Holy
the
shit!
fuck?
Iman's going hard.
Yeah. I was like, that's an anthem right there. And I was like,
Yeah.
damn, he was really hurt, man.
Yeah.
Like, he was really, really hurt.
Dude.
You dirty hoe.
It's wild.
Yeah, I was like, damn, they had a whole edited version on the radio. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, I know what he's really feeling,
Right.
you know? But now, shout out to Iman.
Yeah, it was a
damn, that's
anthem.
crazy. Yeah.
Well,
no.
Renee, man,
All right.
it's dude, it's been a complete pleasure.
Absolutely,
man,
bro.
like this is cool. We just like sat here and chatted. I
Yeah.
love this, man.
See, that's our vibe, and
Yeah.
Eric can talk to you about that too. But we started coming up with a new thing called Everyday Randomness Editions.
Yeah.
And so, like, the more we've done this, we've only done it a couple times now, but we've never had a guest. And I'm like, let's start getting guests for that. Like,
Yeah.
to
Where
get-
it's
Let me
we
know. I'll
just-
come back, man. I'll let's do
like,
this shit.
like
Hell
we
yeah.
just want to literally get into it. Like, we all
Yeah.
pick 5 topics, right?
Oh,
Whatever's
easy.
twinning on, you
and
know,
just go
TikTok,
off.
Twitter,
Just
Instagram.
have a couple
And then
drinks
like
and
let's
just let
let's
it
go
flow.
in on it, like
Yeah.
you know, like
Oh, fuck yeah.
when we bring this back around, like in a couple months,
And
we
when
do-
TX Whiskey's sponsoring
yeah,
these episodes,
yeah,
you
like
know
you
what I'm
know,
saying?
like shout out to TX, like you know,
Yeah.
otherwise if not, shout out to Taylor Swift, like we're gonna talk about you, girl, like you'll be in 2 months, you'll be on the next boy. So
Nah, and before I go, I really want to shout out to my boys at Up to Something, Diego, Shamir, Daniel. Love y'all. Y'all definitely
Shout
keep it
out,
going.
fellas.
Shout out to the
Right.
fellas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mahal Eating. Shout out to Cassandra and Zoe. They're killing it right now. If you ever need some Filipino cuisine food, amazing food. I'm telling you, man. They do private dinings. They do pop-ups. Definitely shout out to them.
you put
shout
hot
out to-
sauce on that?
You don't put hot sauce
You don't
on
put hot
shit.
sauce on. Nah, man. I can't.
I mean, you
it's like
can't- you don't
I
put that
some,
shit
like,
on
if it-
everything?
you know what I'm saying? So sweet and sour. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my family, my mom, dad, my brother Xavier, Sasha, my sister. All my friends who've been supporting the podcast. You know what I'm saying? It definitely leads me to do interviews
Yeah.
like this. Started doing the DJ stuff. Soon. More announcements. But
Dude, I'm gonna have your mom come on the show.
no, dude, my mom will be cussing up a storm up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Like we should do a mom edition of our guest.
Oh,
That would be
you know what I'm saying? Like
crazy.
nobody does that, right? Nobody's
She's a
podcast has
lovely
got the
woman.
We just have
mamas
like
coming
5
on.
moms on.
Yeah,
It's
that's a strong
it's-
Latino woman right there.
So we'll start with his mom, right? We already had Friday's mom.
Yeah, Friday's mom.
So
Yeah,
like, let's go get Matt's mom.
right.
Right?
Would you put your mom on this podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say no, but I mean, in reality, like if she would actually do it, because like when we
Yeah.
first started this, I told her I was like, I'm gonna put my kids and my wife on the show.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like I want them to talk about the struggles of what they've gone
Yeah.
through with me. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
for
I
sure.
want people
It's
to
an
know.
open forum.
Yeah, 100%.
No, 100%.
And
100%.
that's our vibe, and I
Yeah.
think we should. And just wait until Mama Allen comes on the show.
Yeah, no, for
we're
sure.
we're gonna get her on here. She's gonna be
Nah.
bring that cute little baby Wednesday.
100%.
And we're
yeah.
gonna talk all about Friday.
Oh yeah, no, for
You
sure.
know,
But,
she's known him before he painted his hair.
Nah. Hey, nah. Shout out to Rita, man.
Yeah,
But yeah, no.
she's dope.
Shout out to my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Paloma. She's been a really good supporter. of mine.
Paloma.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Little
Yeah,
birdie.
shout out-
That kind of it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, Paloma. Yeah, shout out
Yeah.
to Paloma.
All right.
La Paloma is
saying?
one of my
But
favorite
yeah.
taco shops.
She's gonna love this. She's gonna clip this, and she's like, "Oh, that's my name. That's
Yeah.
my man. That's my man. That's my name." You know.
Shout out to Paloma.
Yeah, shout out to Paloma. We're gonna watch Vampire Diaries when I get home.
Hey, there you
Hey.
go.
Sip on TX and take him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get some TX and watch or some Brothers in Bond. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Watch Vampire Diaries.
There you go.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I appreciate you guys having me on, man. This
Dude,
is so fucking dope,
bro,
man.
anytime.
No,
Yeah.
man, for sure,
Anytime.
bro. No, I'm gonna come.
It was a
I'm gonna
good
come
time.
back.
Yeah.
No, for sure,
It was right.
And I'll bring the guys next time.
Oh,
Next
yeah.
time,
There
I'll
we
bring the
go.
guys.
Yeah, don't leave him in the fucking car next time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like-
sorry, I got to get my children in the car.
Right,
It's been real, you guys. Yeah.
We'll get more mics.
Okay.
Don't worry
No,
about it.
for sure.
That's
Whatever you
that's
need,
a
we'll
wrap
make it
on
happen.
Select Few. Tune in next time.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Let it rip.
Peace.
I got to pee.
Peace. Yeah.